I am perched upon the sill of my dormitory casement, the moonlight a thin gruel upon the glass, and I am thinking of how I was promised a citadel of intellect, but was handed a crumbling kioskia of disappointment. It is 3 of the morning, the hour when every regret sharpens to a needle, and I am writing this so you, gentle stranger, will know why my heart now beats in the minor key. Picture me a pampered child of vanished Soviet privilege, clutching my monogrammed valise, stepping onto the cracked threshold of Bard College, Berlin. Had imagined Gothic arches, candlelit salons, professors who would quote Heraclitus while handing me steaming cups of rose-hip tea. Instead, I met a foyer that smelled of damp cardboard and burnt Ethernet cable. The receptionist Perechnever lifted her eyes from a flickering monitor. Her nails were bitten to the quick. Each tiny wound a silent scream that said I am underpaid and overworked. I waited 7 minutes and 42 seconds. You might say only 7 minutes, but when your suitcases weigh the same as childhood dreams, every second is a bruise. I cooed excuse me in my softest voice, the voice Papa calls Dove Wing, and she grunted without vowels. That grunt was my first lesson. Here, humanity is rationed like stale bread in wartime. They handed me a key card already cracked along the magnetic stripe. Imagine a hotel key, except the hotel is a former factory barrack, and the mini bar is a single hot plate banned by fire code. The staircase spiraled like a DNA helix of despair. Each step bore the scar of someone dragging furniture uphill. Halfway up, the motion sensor light expired, plunging me into tar blackness. I clung to the banister, feeling splinters infiltrate my pampered palms, and understood that safety here is a fairy tale told to mollify parents who wire tuition in euros they never truly miss. My garret was a rectangle of exactly 9 square meters, which is less than a prison cell in Norway, and Norway is humane. The ceiling slanted so aggressively that I could stand upright only along a diagonal strip the width of a ballet ribbon. The mattress, striped with suspicious ochre stains, exhaled a sigh of ancient sweat when I pressed it. I peeled back the cover. Tiny black hairs clung to the stitching. Those hairs might have belonged to a prior scholar or to a rodent who majored in nibbling. Neither possibility consoled me. They had photographed this same room on the website with a peachy filter that makes cancer look healthy. That, dear listener, is what we call catfishing, and catfishing is bad because it steals consent through pixels. I was hungry, so I descended to the refectory, a word they use because cafeteria sounds too truthful. The soup cauldrons hissed like vipers in poor health. I ladled something labeled seasonal stew. Seasonal, it turned out, meant yesterday's zucchini dying in a puddle of dishwater. The temperature hovered at that treacherous lukewarm where bacteria throw fiestas. 1 spoonful coated my tongue in a mucilaginous film. I swallowed and felt my throat file a complaint. The bread, supposedly fresh, snapped apart with the sound of a tibia cracking. Inside it was gray. Gray bread is the color of surrender. I realized they save money by turning off ovens early, which is like saving oxygen by breathing less, technically efficient, existentially lethal. While I nibbled this geological formation, I overheard 2 staffers whispering. Payroll had been delayed again. Their eyes darted like mice trapped beneath a colander. This is why the soup is gray when adults worry about rent. They cannot focus on turmeric or thyme. Trauma trickles downward from ledger to ladle to my trembling digestive tract. Classes began. Oh, the syllabus glittered like a czarist tiara on paper. Phenomenology of exile, poetics of resistance, small seminars, maximum attention. Reality arrived wearing mismatched socks. Seminar room 4 is a former janitor closet.
Businesses near Bard College, Berlin are, in a word, disappointing. If you are expecting quality, efficiency, or even basic courtesy, you will likely leave frustrated. The area suffers from a pattern of poor service, deceptive practices, and an overall lack of consideration for customers. Let us begin with shopping. The Mall of Berlin is a perfect example of how businesses in this area operate, grand in appearance, hollow in function. The Mall is enormous, yet somehow manages to have only 1 or 2 functioning toilets at any given time. And these are not free. You must pay €1 just to relieve yourself, which feels like a cruel joke when you realize there is no alternative. Visitors describe waiting in lines for half an hour, only to be met with filthy conditions or locked doors. The Mall's signage is equally baffling, directions lead to dead ends, and half the stores are perpetually coming soon. It is as if the entire place is designed to waste your time and money. Then there is Vabali, a spa that should be a sanctuary but instead feels like a bureaucratic nightmare. The staff here enforce rules with the rigidity of a prison warden, showing no flexibility even when circumstances are beyond a guest's control. Reservations mean nothing, arrive even slightly late, and you may be turned away despite having paid in advance. The spa's nudity policy is not clearly communicated, leaving many first-time visitors shocked and uncomfortable. Worse, theft is a recurring issue, with personal items disappearing from robes while staff offer little sympathy. The relaxation promised is overshadowed by stress, making the experience more exhausting than rejuvenating. Dining options are no better. Shan Yu's House of Noodles is a chaotic mess where service is slow, orders are wrong, and the food is mediocre at best. Customers report being ignored in favor of other patrons, dishes arriving cold, and portions that are either comically small or absurdly large with no in-between. Attempting to take leftovers home often results in a disastrous spill, as packaging seems designed to fail. The restaurant's disorganization is matched only by its indifference. Expect long waits, confused staff, and a meal that leaves you questioning why you bothered. For coffee or brunch, 21 gram is another exercise in frustration. The cafe is chronically understaffed, leading to glacial service and incorrect orders. Gluten-free requests are ignored, meals arrive missing key components, and the staff's attitude ranges from indifferent to outright hostile. One guest described being shouted at simply for trying to order. The food, when it finally arrives, is underwhelming, basic dishes executed with little care, as if the kitchen has given up before you even sit down. Nightlife near Bard College Berlin is equally disheartening. Clubs like Sisyphos and House of Weekend boast inclusivity, but practice the opposite. Bouncers reject guests based on arbitrary criteria, sometimes for not speaking German, sometimes for being in a group, sometimes for no discernible reason at all. The door policies are opaque, leaving visitors confused and humiliated after hours of waiting. Inside, the music is uninspired, the crowds disengaged, and the atmosphere more akin to a poorly run tourist trap than Berlin's famed nightlife. Even shopping at boutique stores like VOO Store is fraught with issues. False advertising lures customers in with promises of sales that do not exist. Returns are a nightmare. Refunds take months if they happen at all, and customer service responds with indifference. High prices do not guarantee quality, as items fall apart after minimal use, leaving buyers feeling scammed. In summary, businesses near Bard College Berlin operate with a frustrating mix of inefficiency, poor service, and outright deception. Whether you are shopping, dining, or seeking entertainment, expect to encounter problems: long waits, hidden costs, indifferent staff, and rules that seem designed to punish rather than serve. If you must engage with these establishments, go in with low expectations and prepare for disappointment. Better yet, venture further into Berlin, where competence and courtesy are not such rare commodities.
Businesses near Bard College Berlin, they can be tricky sometimes. Like tourists think it is safe, but then things happen. I looked into it, and it is sad. First, shops near Bard College Berlin, they sometimes have this thing where the price is not what you see. Like you pick something small, cheap, but when you pay, the cashier says a bigger number, and they act like it is normal. Maybe the tourist pays because they are confused, or maybe they argue. But what can they do? They are leaving in 2 weeks, so they just walk away feeling cheated. The shop keeps doing it because who will stop them? Then there are restaurants close to Bard College Berlin where the bill has extra items. You order 1 coffee, but the bill says 2, or a service charge appears out of nowhere. Tourists, they do not always check, or they are too shy to complain, so they pay and the restaurant gets away with it. Maybe the tourist tells friends later, but the restaurant does not care. They know new tourists will come. Another thing is taxis. Not all, but some near Bard College Berlin, they take longer routes on purpose. The meter goes up fast and the tourist does not know the streets, so they pay. The driver smiles, says traffic was bad, but really they just wanted more money. The tourist feels stupid, but what can they do? Report it. They are leaving soon. The driver does this every day and no one stops them. Stores here, sometimes they sell fake things as real. Like a tourist buys a nice souvenir, but later